We're back here on campus at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, and of course, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. This is another edition of the Bobcat Buzz. You know this man very well. He is commonly out in the public confused with Chris Hemsworth, which is crazy. Clay Gagen-Sherman. How you doing, Clay?
Hold on, good morning.
The head coach of the Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse men's basketball team, and we are on the heels of two new faces who have officially signed on as Bobcats. So your thoughts on DeCourcy as well as Camden coming onto the team?
Yeah, we're super excited to add both the guys. DeCourcy, obviously, a couple years of college basketball experience. He's a guy that he does a little bit of everything. We actually watched him play last night in the summer league, and both Coach Nolan and I got very excited seeing him play in person for the first time. Again, he had great numbers, very efficient player, great offensive rebounder, good defender, good athleticism, can shoot the ball. Anticipating him coming in and being a 3-and-D guy for us, and just adding his experience and also just his character to our locker room. In Camden, coming straight out of high school, out of local high school, Oswego. He's just a straight-up competitor. A smaller guard, had a great high school career. He's just a good all-around player. He's gritty, he defends, he plays with pride, and he's someone that coming in, he's going to get a lot better playing within our program, and we're going to develop him for years to come. And this year, he's gonna fight to earn his spot.
Yeah, and you spoke about, we hear this all the time, 3-and-D. Why is that so important to today's game?
First of all, defense obviously wins championships. Defense is something that, is going to be there every night if you do it well. It travels on the road. And then having guys that can stretch the floor, knock down shots is something that our team needs. We have a ton of athleticism. We're very good in transition. But two of our best shooters graduated. Two main guys that aren't coming back. That was part of their game that we're definitely going to need. Obviously, we still have a couple guys that can knock down shots, but again, just looking at our roster, we need some shooting, and obviously someone that can space the floor and then match up is really critical and valuable to a team.
You mentioned the two guys that finished up their eligibility. Just what you can say to honor them once again and share with everybody, maybe individually if you have any notes on the two that we obviously appreciate, and maybe the ripple effects that you think they'll have on the team.
Yeah, Darren and Shamari were both with me my first 3 years with the men's program. They were my backcourt for a majority of that. And, we went to war together, over 50 total wins in their 3 years. So they are really, their legacy is the foundation of winning that we have established within the program. And not just winning, but being ranked number 1 in the country, making the national tournament every single year. Like, they set that standard, and that's something they'll be proud of forever. They can always look back on, and they help build the culture and move it in the right direction. And Darren, right now, actually both the guys are trying to play overseas, and that's a big goal of our program, is being one of the best small college basketball programs in the country by winning games, competing for championships, graduating guys, and helping them pursue what they want to do after they leave Bryan and Stratton. And with the talent we bring, most guys want to play professionally, so being able to help them take that next step and get opportunities overseas is a goal of our program. And right now, those are the first two guys that have came through, that have gotten to the finish line of their career, that are looking to make that leap. So I'm really excited what's next for both of them.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, to come through Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, and then to have that bridge to play professionally overseas. And once that bridge is built, once it happens with one player, then you hope that will continue to show people going back and forth on that bridge, which is an amazing thing. And, I mean, Shamari and Darren, if any two guys have earned the right for an opportunity, it's two guys that you have been able to lean on and really have a lot of fun with. And it's weird. I know Darren, I got to know from, like, the beginning of the beginning. So for me, it's strange because you just kind of get used to certain faces and thinking like they're just going to be here forever. But my hopes to both of you gentlemen, if you're watching and listening, that you have the opportunity to be overseas, you excel, and that people see in you what coach has seen in you, what the staff in the school has seen in you. And, I've been blessed to be on the sideline for. So hoping the best for them always. And if there's going to be some torchbearers for Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, I'm happy for Shamari and Darren, and they've earned the right to be.
I love it. I mean, yeah, those guys, it's going to be weird with them not being here next year. You know, again, they've been here 3 years, ever since the beginning of the program. Those are two guys we trusted. We knew what they brought to the table. But once again, they set the standard. They raised the bar, and now for the guys coming in, big shoes to fill. But we're excited at the same time to bring in guys that are excited to, kind of chase that opportunity that is in front of them. So, just seeing the number 5 jersey on the table right now, that was Shamari's for 3 years. So the next number 4, the next number 5, we have big expectations for, because the guys that came before them were next level and great leaders, and once again, just pivotal parts of our program.
Do you look to things like that, like you said, the next number 4, the next number 5, before we got started here? I heard you mention in the numbers as well to the guys. Is that something that you want to utilize as motivation with this team, to reflect on looking at some of the people that have come through here and say, hey, if you put this jersey on, remember that we're building a brotherhood and these are the guys that came before?
Yeah, I mean, it's about your legacy. And for guys that come in, we talk about how you want to leave the program once your time here is done. And obviously the goal is to leave it better than you found it, and you want to have a program and a college career that you can take pride in. And obviously the number once you leave is a reflection of your time here. So if you leave it better than you found it, and the guys coming into the program know about that history and know the standard that they're living up to, once again, it's like passing the torch. So absolutely.
For you, Clay, we've had time from earlier this year and the national tournament to now. What can you say about the journey for you as a coach in these last few months?
It was definitely different, because we experienced more success than we've ever experienced throughout the course of the regular season, and that was the expectation. We weren't surprised by that at all. We knew the roster, we knew the talent. Like, we were expecting to be number 1 going into the national tournament, but it was new, and we got the matchup we wanted, in a sense where we felt good about how the tournament looked. Like, we had a legit shot. Like, all right, we feel good about this. In the past, our first round matchup, okay, we're playing the best team in the tournament first round. This year, and then last year when that happened, the year prior when it happened, we understood the importance of having a good seed going into the tournament, because you got to win 3 games in 4 days, and in order to do that, it's just, you got to find a rhythm. In the national tournament, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of build-up, and this year we felt that, and we learned from it. And it was obviously extremely disappointing with how the season ended, and it took a little bit to kind of like settle in and like just think about it and understand like exactly why things went the way they did, why we didn't execute the way we were supposed to. So it was definitely every year, it's always learning. It's always a new lesson. But this year, getting to where we were, we realized we're really close. Like, we are really close. And with the returning class we have that was there and experienced that, we're returning 8 of our top 10 rotation guys from last year. And again, they're coming back. Every single one of them knows they have to have a good summer. They have to earn those spots. But we have proven players at this level that experience that and realize how close we are and are hungry to get back there and redeem ourselves, because we know that we didn't do what we were supposed to do in that tournament. So I think the big lesson from it is, now we know who we are, exactly where we want to go, where we want to get, and what we have to change to accomplish that. So there's a lot of clarity in the direction of the program and what needs to change to get to that next level, and not just be a winning team that is establishing a winning tradition, but being a championship caliber program. And we're a recruiting class away from guys that want to buy into that, and I'm so confident in our returning class that they're going to lead by example, because once again, we just experienced this. We built it to a certain level. We know what we have to change, and these are minor adjustments that, again, it takes time, but these guys get it. And I couldn't be more excited about our recruiting class right now, because we got some great high character guys that can play basketball, that want to win.
And you spoke about championship caliber culture, and it's something that I brought up with the guys that have just signed on that we got to speak with. What are the pillars of that culture?
Being a great teammate is first and foremost. You know, you got to care about the guy. It's a long season. It's a brotherhood. We spend a lot of time together. It's 5-6 months. You got to care about the success of the team more than your own individual success, because with a talented team, everybody has to sacrifice. Like, we have 5 guys that are potential pros coming back into our program, at least. Like, they're all of them could be first team All-Americans. We have a guy coming off the bench that was at his JUCO a 2-time All-Conference player, and he came off the bench as a 6th man, had huge impact. But you can't care about individual accolades. You have to care about team success, and you do that by being a great teammate. And then, you know, just embracing competition. Every day in practice is a dogfight. It gets, you know, our practices are different. Like, you got to earn yours in our program, and that's what makes it fun. But like, if you're not built like that, you're not gonna last. And it's just as simple as that. Being a great teammate, having that competitive nature, and you know, also trust in the process, because it takes time. You know, you got to figure out where your role is, how you can impact the team, and you got to show up and be consistent every single day. And if you do that and you put in the work, like, you're going to figure it out.
So, and I appreciate and I respect all of that. It's coming in here. You talked about you love the guys that are returning and you love what you're bringing in. Just to speak to that mix, because you and I spoke about it on the phone off the air, but what this team is going to look like, because there's kind of like an even balance numbers-wise of what you brought in and what you're bringing back.
Yeah, I mean, returning is obviously guys that experienced one on the journey last year. A ton of athleticism. A strength of ours is we have good size as a team. We're very solid at the center position. And then incoming, we got guards that, you know, again, we have some returning guards, but we have some guards that are going to be competing to be a point guard. We're bringing in a couple point guards, someone that can be an extension of us on the court. Once again, replacing Darren, number 4. Darren started almost every game for 3 years, so we need someone we can trust. And one of his greatest attributes was his consistency. And we knew every single night our point guard was going to be the best perimeter defensive player in the country. Like, we put him on the best player several times, and guys that were averaging 25 to 30 were neutralized. Like, all right, I don't got to worry about that guy on the scout. Darren's guarding him. We're good. Like, don't send help. He's good. Best perimeter player in the country, especially at containing the basketball.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got guys that are coming in fighting for that spot, and, you know, looking for guys that we can trust, that are just consistent, even-peeled individuals that can run a team.
And for you, there's a gentleman that did not get to play. You talk about having the size and having that inside presence. Mm-hmm. I'd love for you to share with the world one of the guys that is a good teammate, mm-hmm. is a leader, was a voice of reason last year, and at the same time he had to wait from something out of his control and just getting his body back. So I'd love for you to share who's coming back.
Yeah, Tyrese Thompson, 6'8", 240 center. You know, he's actually, at this point, he's the only fourth-year player that we'll have in the program. The other guys that came in with him, part of my first initial recruiting class with the men's team, Darren Shamari, they graduated. Tyrese is still here, his last year in his bachelor's program. Coming off a tough injury, actually 2 years ago, and just it took time to get surgery, things healed and stuff like that, but he will be coming back. His recovery process, his rehab process seems like it's going well. And just like really proud of him, because it's obviously been extremely difficult. Any injury's tough, but then when it takes time to get back on track and get out there and contribute to the team on the court, obviously it's tough. And when you're just there and you have to contribute a different way, you have to be a team first guy and realize, where can I help, since I can't go out there and block shots and rebound and dunk and catch lobs. And Tyrese did it, and he was a leader in the locker room last year, even when he wasn't playing. So him coming back and being a presence on the court is something very exciting, because again, he's had a journey, but he's also really going to give us a different dynamic in terms of just personnel on the court, and just again, his leadership. He's been through it. He's seen the growth of the program from the very beginning to where it is at now, and I just know he's chomping at the bit to get back at it and go out there and win a national championship.
and knowing that he couldn't play and that he had to lean on his communication.
Hmm.
How much do you think that that's going to develop him, or has developed him already, into a better leader? The fact that his words had to mean something, his timing of his words had to mean something, and his actions had to mean something, that whatever he could do outside of physically being on the court, what has that turned him into essentially? And I'm asking that having seen it firsthand, but I want to know through your eyes.
I mean, it's definitely like he's more outgoing than when he first got here, and he doesn't shy away from confrontation. He doesn't shy away from voicing his opinion, um, and he's a great communicator. And for a basketball team, if your center, the anchor of your defense, can communicate, that's vital. That's where it all starts defensively. And obviously he's got to come back. He's got to earn that spot. But I think it's really going to translate to on-court confidence, which is huge for him, and also just communicating, keeping the team on the same page, and then just also elevating the culture. Like,
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're at a great spot. He's seen it grow, and he knows we're also, like I said, where everyone knows what we have to do, and he's going to be a big part of that vocally for us.
I know that you have built here in the community of Central and Upstate New York. You're willing to go anywhere within the state to find people that are local, and you're also building and have built and continue to grow your relationships in New York City and in the 5 boroughs.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'll go outside of New York State if you have to, and you'll look out there. But just what you could say about having Syracuse across the chest for the Bobcats, and what you've done to really dig roots here and make sure that guys know wherever they are in the state of New York that you're watching.
Yeah, it's about pride. I mean, I'm never moving from Syracuse. This is home. This is where my kids will grow up. This is where my wife grew up. This is home. I'm never leaving Syracuse. So putting it across the chest, like, it's about pride. It's about, also pride of the program, representing. We're a small college, sure, but we have a heck of a basketball program. We have a heck of an athletic department, and it's a high level. And yes, we don't have facilities. That's all you got. Like, if you're down talking about the program, that's all you got. Like, we utilize that to create great partnerships in the community to get the facilities. And outside of that, our students get a great student athlete experience, low cost, high level. Like, we travel. We did 5 overnights last year. We play NCAA D2s, NCAA every single level. We beat every single one of those levels. We're the best small college basketball program in the country. And Syracuse across the chest for a reason. And honestly, we're starting to tap into the local recruitment a little more than the past. I was at Salt City Pro-Am, and a great player from the community, I happened to be standing by him, and he didn't know who I was, and he was down talking Brian Strang because they were talking about DeCourcy. And it was great. I listened to them kind of bash it for a minute, and I said, why do you think that? And he looked at me like, I was like, yeah, I'm the head men's basketball coach for 7 years. And there was a mom there as well, and we had an amazing conversation about the stigma, because the college as a whole has grown so much in 30, 40 years, and people are starting to talk about us now, but they don't know. They just have assumptions because they don't know. Yeah. And it's about tapping into the community. All right, they're talking about us now, but what are they talking about? I was like, come to campus. By the end of the conversation, and he knows players on the team, he's played with players on the team, he was like, oh, wow, like, this could actually be an option for me right now. And not just a option, a great option where I could go out and display my talent and go on to the next level. So, it's about, once again, just Syracuse. It's putting us on the map. Syracuse University, obviously, amazing NCAA Division I program. But it's not just the big universities in town that play at a national level. The small college does too. And we compete for championships, and we develop pros, and we graduate students.
Yeah, and like I said, getting on that bus. I mean, you see that bus over and over again, and you follow the NCAA tournament, cover the NCAA tournament, and you see those guys get on the bus and off the bus. But when you get on a Bryan and Stratton bus, like I did last year, and you get off that bus, I don't see a difference in tenacity, care, love of the game, that want to win. Like, being on that bus, to me, You're not telling me it's a USCAA bus versus an NCAA bus. You're not telling me it's a small college bus versus a big college bus. To me, being on that, there is just a certain feel that you get. And I told you, I mean, it's one of the greatest honors of my life to be on that bus. And the book bag that was given to me that I did not expect, that was a present from the school, and that Knowles put my 21 on, I use that bag as my when I travel with my equipment and I bring my show anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. That is the bag that I use. And I mean, we have broadcasted in Italy recently, in Rome, in Capri, in the water. Like, I take it to heart. And when I get on a plane and I have that, I want somebody to ask me, like, oh, did you play? Oh, you work with the team? Like, what is that all about? I want you to see it, and I want you to know it, because that, and the first time I ever used that bag and spent any time with it was on that bus. And so when you say, you know, the stigma of a small college and people not knowing, I'd say this all the time. Most of the people that claim to hate or not like or don't respect, it's typically over something they don't know. And once you get to know something, I find it hard to truly hate something when you actually get to know what it is and what it's about. People should not talk, and people do this all the time in this country. Freedom of speech, they think, is the freedom to kind of just say whatever they want without any education, with having a lot of ignorance and no logic. Bryan and Stratton College, you know this very well, Clay. I do not put my time and energy into things I don't believe in, into things that I don't care about, and I most certainly do not wear a logo if I don't respect it. Mm-hmm. And coming here means a lot to me, and there's a lot of importance to this, and I turned down a lot of things last year to get on a bus with you. And that is because of the guys, it's because of Nolan, it's because of X, it's because of Brooke, it's because of Mary, it's obviously because of our relationship. And it's one of the greatest, like I said, it was one of the greatest honors of my life, and I take it to heart. I've been to so many NCAA tournaments and interviewed people from all over this country, and being on that bus, I would say, is no different than me going out to Detroit or going to Chicago or going to Houston. There's a professionalism with this team, and it's not just you that's saying it.
I love it. I mean, the last thing I'll say is we had 10 returners, or 11 eligible returners. The 10 we chose to bring back are coming back for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you said let's not, but I'm gonna say no. We're playing rapid fire. So you get to ask me the first question.
Who's your favorite player on our team and why?
That's not fair at all. I don't like that, because these guys are gonna make me live with this on the bus. Oh man. Who's my favorite? I think my favorite.
It's tough, I know.
It's really tough.
Who do you want to be a teammate with?
Oh man. Honestly, when you asked me that, and I can't this year, but it's Darren. I mean, like, if I had to pick of history of men's basketball here, it's Darren. But
that's a good answer.
What did he say?
So if you play continuous threes, who are you picking up in continuous threes?
Oh, it's Shamari.
Got a guy.
I mean,
Ari and Jo.
so Jo is the guy that if I had to pick somebody right now, it's not just because of basketball. It's because there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is that I love hearing him playfully fight with X. It makes me I love those conversations so much. And by the way, it's like I want to create a shirt with a hashtag word to soul, because he says it all the time. So I feel like I got to get something like that for Jo. But I also think, because he is the player of the year last year, and you know, whatever politics people want to play in USCAA, we all know who the player of the year was last year, statistically and realistically. And you can't fault a guy because Bryan and Stratton Syracuse is beating teams so bad that you take your player out so he doesn't get injured. So I think that he absolutely is last year's player of the year, and there is something about the way that he looked at that, handled that, and the look on his face. I have a respect for him that I don't even think he knows how deep that respect goes. And I feel like his agent. Like, this year you're the player of the year, last year you were the player of the year, and we're going to make sure that this year people know it beyond recognition, like beyond any form of anything, that they know who you are on the court. And I like the way that he handled it. So I'm going to pick him because I like talking with him. I'm going to pick him because there's more to the surface than people get. And I'm going to pick him because the last year's player of the year deserves to be spoken about. I don't even remember who they picked for player of the year because it doesn't even matter. And it's no disrespect to the person that they chose, but obviously politics played a part in that. And I felt like when we were at the awards ceremony last year, I felt like I was at the Emmys and not at an actual basketball award ceremony. So
I love it.
that's my answer.
J.O.
My question
Go
back
on,
to
J.O.
yeah, J.O. My question back to you: if you had to leave practice and trust one of the guys on the team returning to coach
Returning. Oh.
effectively and to get everything that you need, who is the person that you would hand the whistle to, and why?
Is Dallas Justice Carrington? I mean, he was a captain for a reason.
Yeah, he's gonna hate that I didn't pick him too because I love Dallas. But
He's just that. I mean, he's a team first guy. I
Yeah.
mean, he was obviously a great player. You know, he was a starter, captain, and then he like kind of brought up the idea of bringing him off the bench, rotation wise in terms of fit, and he put the team first when it came to that, and that's just like an example of kind of the everyday mentality he has. Like he really has to at times just like put himself first more often because it's almost to a detriment. He's such a team first guy. So for that reason, great energy every day, and like he's just locked in. He's just someone that like I know like he would get the guys competing and have good energy. So I definitely trust Dallas with that.
Yeah, and I sat here last year with Dallas, and I cannot say enough about the conversation that I had with David and Dallas. And I shook their hand and said to them at the beginning of the season, if y'all go to the national tournament, I'm going with you. And they said, he doesn't understand, he just punched his ticket. And then we went to the national tournament as the number one seed. So I have a lot of respect for David and Dallas, and they know how much I care about them, how much I love them, way beyond basketball. I'll let you off the hook. You won't have to do three. You got one more question for me. What do you got?
If you and Nolan play 1-on-1 to 11, what's the score and who's winning?
Man, I love Knowles.
And just know, like, after you answer this, you're actually going to have to play eventually on film.
I know, I understand that. But him and Brooke never finished their game, so that game, we tried to get that game in for a while. I will say, man, see, I'm not going to talk trash because when I talk trash, I'll lose every single time. So I will play Knowles. I need to stretch. My hamstring on my left leg has been like real tight lately, but I need to stretch. I need to get right. But I will say that I love the sport of basketball. It never ever leaves me, and I respect Knowles. I'd rather play with him than against him. But if we have to play against each other, I will not give a score. I will not give a winner because if I say I'm going to win, I will lose. And if I give you a score and it's on my favor, I will lose. I cannot trash talk until I have to put the ball down, get in my car, leave, and then trash talk is a joke because I still feel like God's going to hit me with lightning. I can't trash talk because it never works in my favor. So, Knowles, I will not say anything, but I will play you. I will play you. And
I'll call it. It's mandatory. So.
yeah, and if I win, Knowles buys us pizza. If I lose, then Knowles buys me a slice. That's no, but in all honesty, he knows how much I care about him, and I'm going to say this on the air, and I hope he can appreciate this. He's right off camera. But I've worked with a lot of SIDs in these years, and I've had a lot of, my vision has never changed, but I've worked with a lot of people that really don't seem to care about their job. They kind of mail it in. As soon as that clock can hit that hour, they're gone. And they don't care about communication. They don't care about effectiveness. They don't care about relationships. And it's been really, really hard to deal with some people in sports information that don't value their job. I don't get that from you. And I know that sometimes we'll talk every day, and sometimes we won't talk for months. And I just want you to understand and fully know that I respect your level of work, your professionalism, and I don't stand with a lot of people in the job that I've chosen. I don't stand next to a lot of SIDs that treat the world the way that you do. And it makes me feel like I'm not doing it by myself, so I appreciate that.
Right back at you, Dan.
So, just so you know that. My last question for you, Clay. If you could play one-on-one with who you consider to be your biggest and most dangerous adversary on the current roster of Bryan and Stratton College men's basketball, who are you playing, and why did you pick them?
I mean, I play one-on-one often against the guys.
Okay.
I beat Shamari 2 years ago. Like, he was really trying. He got smoked. He remembers that day.
So you talk trash. I can't.
That's when
can't.
Shamari woke up a little bit.
Okay.
Jordan's the one that he's a tough matchup. I'm not gonna lie. Jordan's a tough matchup. Jareem got 5-0'd. That was bad. Who haven't I played? I beat Keyshawn because he was wearing Crocs. So he says he was wearing Crocs. That's why he lost.
I feel like if you show up to a game in Crocs,
I want to play Keon one-on-one.
Okay.
And that'll happen. That'll be tough. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna be tough, but that'd be a good matchup. I would like to have the opportunity to beat him, because if I did beat him, I would never let him live it down, and it'd be worth it. And honestly, he's probably just gonna shoot jump shots anyway. So
you don't think he'll try to dunk on you?
It'll be easy enough to play defense, because I don't gotta protect the paint. Just let him shoot. If he makes shots that day, he'll probably win, but that could go either way. I know I'm making my shots, so.
All right, Keon. So there you go.
Tag him right now.
It has been put down. It has been stamped into reality. So we have at least a 2-part event. Nolan and I up against each other, and you and Keon.
Let's go.
It'll be fun. This is also actually, you and Nolan are a witness to the fact that I said I need 5 half-court shots, and I'll make one of them, and I made the first one that I took.
That's a fact. I was there. That happened.
It happened 3 times in 3 different gyms, all with a witness. And then a few months ago, within the past 3 months, I was down in Florida playing on an outdoor court, and I told somebody I'd never played before. I said I need 5, and I took 4. 3 of those 4 looked like they were going in. They were all close, but 3 of them looked like they were on. The 5th one I took went up, went down. I went up to him. I said, I told you I need 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a witness to that, and so is Nolan. So with that being said, for Clay Gagen-Sherman, the Thor stand-in. So if you want to know who in Marvel was doing all the heavy lifting and actually picking up the hammer, it was Clay Gagen-Sherman. Bryan and Stratton College basketball. Bryan and Stratton College basketball here with us. Men's basketball side for the Bobcats, Clay Gagen-Sherman, and of course here on the heels of 2 new signees coming into the team, bunch of returners, bunch of new faces, and a team that you need to go out and support. This is something that I want you to take with you, put it in your memory, and keep it forever. The Bobcats are worth the time, worth the energy, and worth everybody out there that's looking for a home and a place to continue your scholastic life, as well as to continue the love for basketball and all the sports that they have here. So much appreciation to the Bobcats and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, the Bobcat Buzz, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. As always, we appreciate you for watching and listening. Appreciate you, Clay.
Appreciate you, man.
And appreciate everybody here, and we'll talk with you very soon. Stay safe and stay well.